Hi everyone, it's Emily. I wanted to do a walkthrough of a new deck that I recently received a few weeks ago, and I have been waiting to film this walkthrough before using it. I have obviously unboxed it, but I have yet to work with it. So I really wanted to share this deck before working with it because I feel like this is such an important deck for me to have in my collection. This is a deck that I have been waiting for actually for about 3 months. I ordered it from the creator herself and she sent it within really good time, actually, sort of straight away. But because of the pandemic and the postal situation, it literally fell into a black hole for about a month, and then it appeared on the other end, and I was so happy to receive a customs charge from Royal Mail for this. So I was very happy to receive it. So I'm just going to get stuck into it. This is the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas first edition. So this is the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas first edition, and it's illustrated and written by Andrea Furtick, and that's who I ordered the deck from. And this is a lovely bag that you get with it, which is really sweet. I went for this first edition actually because I thought potentially I might get the special edition from Little Red Tarot when it came back. But yeah, I was quite torn between the special edition and this first edition, but I went for this one because I did think that potentially I might opt for the special edition eventually anyway. I was really pleased to see that she'd written a little note for me here. I can't exactly read it, so it says something like, Emily, for something the power of 11 moons and 11 suns, which is really beautiful. As you can see, like, I have some hand cream on my hands, and as you can see, it's kind of got that sort of, I don't know if it's rose petal, I don't know if that's right, but it's got that sort of matte, lovely, beautiful finish on the box, but unfortunately it does like hold some oil, so I might have to just give it a little bit of a wipe. But it's a beautiful box. And inside here it says, for there is a most divine strength encased within the passion for wisdom and nestled in the cycle of external existence, and by the alignment of both wisdom and action your destiny shall be revealed. This deck is a melanated deck, and it's an illustrated deck, and it's one that I believe I first saw a walkthrough of this on Sparkle Divine Tarot's channel, so I will link her walkthrough below, and I think she did a walkthrough of both of the editions as well. I'm really working, like a lot of people, to include more melanated and diverse decks into my collection, so this is one that I just fell in love with. There are some others that I want to pick up as well, but this is one that I knew I had to have, and I ordered it from the States because it wasn't actually available at Little Red Tarot at the time. I think that the special edition had sold out. So I'm just looking through the guidebook here. It's got some explanation about the deck. A tarot deck for the melanated goddess. For our daughters, may they see beyond the veil and begin their ascension from a place of pride, wisdom and truth. And then about tarot, about several popular 3-card spreads, the major arcana, and then going into all of the meanings for each. And they look quite comprehensive, which is really nice. And then the major and the minor arcana. So it's a nice sweet little guidebook, but it's got everything that you need, and really beautifully made as well. And inside, just a little card, all is connected, all of you, and then Andrea, I guess she goes by Drea. And this, I think this is a magnifying glass. Am I right? Does anyone know? Do let me know if I'm wrong, but yeah, I think this is for working so that you can see closer the images. Okay, I'm so excited to share these, like, such a beautiful deck, and although there are walkthroughs, there aren't as many. I just fell in love with the illustrations, honestly. Like, they are so spirited and beautiful, and oh, I just think it captures the essence of these women, these goddesses, so beautifully. And the way that they were depicted as well, I feel, is very relatable for now. As you can see, you've got the very contemporary background. It looks like New York City. It feels very relatable. So at the top of this card, you've got Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas, I believe, because it's just the first card. So I'm just going to walk through now, show you each of the cards. The Fool. The Magician. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful magician cards I've ever seen. She's so connected. She's got all her tools there. Stunning. The High Priestess. Again, the sort of typical symbology that you see. There isn't water behind her, but this blue space, I think, allows you to perceive that, or to imagine that. You've got the moon in the books of wisdom and knowledge. You've got the two pillars, the veil and the pomegranates, and obviously she's holding the scroll as well. The Empress, this is absolutely stunning, and it's got all of the zodiac signs, the wheat. The Emperor. The Hierophant. The Lovers. The Chariot. I love this, it feels like she's kind of walking between two worlds. Strength. This is such a beautiful card. How the lion is just asleep on her. You can imagine it kind of purring in her lap. The Hermit. It looks like you've got here like a little firefly or something, like going towards the light, which is really interesting. The Wheel of Fortune. Justice. This is interesting because it looks like she's crying. What's nice about these cards as well is that there's the symbology there, but it's also clear, so you can make out everything, and although it's detailed, it's very bold and clear to see, so I think it will be so interesting to work with this. It's beautiful. I just love these. I might actually look to see if it's possible to get a print of one of these because the artwork is just beautiful. The Hanged Man. Death. I love this card, it's stunning. What's she holding? Trying to work out what she's holding there. Oh my goodness. Temperance. Look at those wings. My goodness. So beautiful. The Devil. This is a really interesting depiction here. So you've got this two figures like you would have in the traditional lovers card, and you've kind of got that energy going on with the balance of their relationship, because you've got this female presenting figure sort of looking towards us, and what looks like the more masculine figure kind of almost looking at her or looking at their hands. So it's like you can see how the two cards sort of play into each other here. And then this is interesting with sort of the road to the grave. The Tower, this one is quite poignant, and obviously it looks like the White House, and flames, it's all up in flames. So the Star, this is stunning as well. Her hair and the stars, and oh my goodness, it's just beautiful. It just feels so abundant and connected and free. It's stunning. I love this moon card, oh my goodness me. And the way that the waters are like the two structures creating the pathway through to the moon. Oh my goodness, this feels like it would be an amazing deck to work with for sort of like moon time as well. The Sun, what a beautiful card. They're also beautiful. How many times am I going to say that? Oh my goodness. Judgment. The World. This is a lovely World card, isn't it? It's stunning. The Supreme. This is an additional card in this deck. So what I'm going to do is take a look at the guidebook and see what it says in here about this card. The Supreme. All is connected, all is you, and at all times you have the power to connect fully and be your all-powerful self, the Supreme. From stardust our immortal souls arise, and merge into form, and by destiny, an occurrence just as rare as the sight of an eclipse, shall ascend a true force, the supreme. Her pure intentions are blessed by the universe as she caresses a journey that moves at the pace of her will. She is guided by her ancestors and merging all her lessons to accomplish her goals. The resilient goddess is at no time defeated because she knows that she is indeed a true goddess only bound by mortal form, and all she wishes at all times is possible. And it continues. So it's a beautiful kind of depiction of the self being complete in the universe. I feel like it sort of takes you back to the magician as well, but it's almost like the magician has elevated, it's almost like the magician has leveled up and is sort of connected on another level, you know. It's beautiful. I want to delve into that card more. Ace of Cups. That just looks so abundant, doesn't it? I love the colours. And I love that you can see the sort of graininess of the paint. I don't know if you can pick that up, but you can see the texture of the paint on the canvas in the original work. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. Oh, this is glorious. They just look so happy to be together and so full of life. Four of Cups. This is interesting, a really interesting depiction, because it's like she's so concentrated on being connected sort of spiritually. She seems to be sort of in meditation, but it's almost like she's missing the point of it, kind of. It's an interesting way to depict it. I really like that one. The Five of Cups. Oh, the Six of Cups. Oh, this gives me goosebumps actually. This is so beautiful. Seven of Cups. I feel like I can see what the choices mean a little bit more in this card than in like the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. The Eight of Cups. I like that she's moving forward into a land that appears to be quite desolate, but it doesn't appear to be kind of dangerous or scary in any way, and in a way that's quite comforting, because it can feel anyway, I think, when we start a new journey or when we leave behind something, that it's quite a daunting thing, but it feels like she's very confident in that she has everything she needs as she begins this new journey, and it looks like a beautiful place to be walking. It doesn't look dangerous or frightening in any way, so it seems to be quite a hopeful card in that way. The Nine of Cups, and she's in that yogic tree pose. I love this pose. My daughter really likes doing this pose as well. And I like the sort of veils behind her as well. This reminds me of the High Priestess with the veils. The Ten of Cups, isn't this just delightful? This really speaks to that feeling of just complete joy and absolutely everything coming true, like all the dreams coming true, having family and being loved and feeling warm and just having a place that's your own and home. It's just beautiful. Daughter of Cups, I love her face. She looks so surprised and delighted by this fish in her cup. I feel like that's a particular kind of fish, and I'm not sure if I can remember, but the little like gill things, I don't know, I don't know what kind of fish it is. If anyone has any idea what that kind of fish that is. It almost looks like a parrot. I don't know. It's really a beautiful card, and it definitely shows the essence of the Page of Cups, I think. Son of Cups. Wow, look at that. That's sort of flamboyant. That's such an interesting depiction as well. Goddess of Cups. I love this card. She almost seems like a mermaid in her dress, and that cup is almost like a shell as well. It's stunning. Oh my goodness. And the God of Cups, so obviously your King of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Stunning. I just love this brush work here, and you can see the strokes. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Oh my goodness, I just can't get enough of this deck. I can't believe I've waited for like several weeks to be able to film this, but can't wait to start working with it. So 2 of Pentacles, you can see how she's balancing these 2 coins here, and you've got the lemniscate, is that how you say it? This infinity sign. I love how she's got these feathers in her hair as well. It feels like she's got it pretty balanced actually, and she's wearing this stunning gown as well in quite an unlikely location. The 3 of Pentacles, it looks like they are inside a honeycomb, doesn't it? But they're all working together. It's like they're the little worker bees building a future together. I love that. 4 of Pentacles. I really like the way that she's created the pentacles as earrings, and it feels like she's adorned with these pentacles. And there's this very much like my precious kind of thing about this. Wow, 5 of Pentacles. I love this. This is so different. The way you have one side of this tree is completely bare and barren, and the other side with the pentacles. And she's in this completely barren land with what looks like snow, and then beyond it where the tree is, it's like the grass is greener on the other side or something, but like she feels almost locked out. But what is she doing? She's like pointing, almost trying to get attention perhaps. It does look like she's worked out though that she can get through the gate. She's just got to work out how, but there would be someone for her or some safety on the other side. 6 of Pentacles. This seems quite traditional. 7 of Pentacles. I love this. It's like the sun setting and she's taking 5 minutes to take a look at her work and smell the roses, you know, of her beautiful garden, all the work that she's put into it. I love it. Oh my goodness. 8 of Pentacles. This is so simple and yet so effective and at sort of conveying that message. This is exactly how I almost envision the 8 of Pentacles, because I absolutely love painting, and for me this is a craft that I like to hone, and so this just, it fits perfectly. 9 of Pentacles. She's in her garden. This is again quite traditional. I love the grapes, and it looks like her hair is kind of almost echoing the feathers in the head of the bird, which is interesting. It's stunning again. And 10 of Pentacles. I love this road to the house. It's as if this has been left to them. It's not quite as like joyful as the 10 of Cups, but there's still that abundance there, but it feels more complex than that. Like they've got a path they've got to walk down, and it's almost like it's a thing, a rite of passage, you know, that is left to, when things are left to you, when relatives pass on, this is what you've got to do, and it's almost bittersweet, and maybe there's things that you inherit at the end of the day, but it's it doesn't always feel simple and good at the time, but if you can hold hands with someone while you're doing it in the process, it makes it easier perhaps. Daughter of Pentacles. This is really, really true to Rider-Waite-Smith, I feel. She's sort of holding it up and looking at it in the same kind of way that the page does. I love that you've got the city in the background, sort of a nod to the material, and sort of almost thinking, what can I do with this, and how can I learn more, how can I develop more in this area and manifest. Son of Pentacles, so you got your Knight. This is interesting because it's quite close up, so you can't see sort of how he's travelling, but you can see he's coming. It almost looks like he's coming down a road or something. So you can imagine he's on a horse or something, moving quite slowly because he's holding this pentacle really close to his chest. Someone who's worked really, really hard for what he has and worked really carefully, really diligently. Goddess of Pentacles, your Queen. Isn't she just stunning? So abundant and connected to Earth. I love that. If you think of the courts as elementals, I believe that the queens are water, so you've got water of earth, so it feels very much connected to earth, so less concerned with the sort of physical material side of the Pentacles and more about the nature-based side of it. And you've got the bunnies here. I think that's a bunny and butterflies. So you've got sort of transformation, fecundity and fertility, beautiful roses. I think that they're roses, and you can see there's water here as well. So you've got the elements, all the elements together. You don't have fire as such, but you do have the red of her dress. So it does feel like she's very passionate and she's very practical. And she wouldn't be afraid to do what needs to be done, but she's not quite as fiery as, say, the Queen of Wands. Very, very lovely depiction. Again, in the God of Pentacles, you've got these grapes for the abundance. And this just looks like a big pile of coins, doesn't it? Or marigold, calendula. I don't know why I feel like it looks like calendula flowers. Whatever it is, it's abundant. Oh, I love this Ace of Swords and the crystals around it. The energy of that is just stunning. And it's interesting, again, you've got the city appearing here. So it's almost like these thoughts, these magical thoughts can bring you abundance if you kind of can apply them in a way into your life that means that you know, are effective in what you're trying to do potentially. It's a really interesting depiction. I love these. They're stunning. The Two of Swords, you can really see the predicament and the difficulty of this decision that she is faced with. I love how there's a moon and stars on one side and the other side. It's almost like night and day. And the Three of Swords, very traditional. And you have the snake here. I don't know, is there a snake on the original Rider-Waite-Smith? I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe it's on the hilt of the sword. Very traditional though. Except, actually, I don't think in the Rider-Waite-Smith you have blood, do you? I need to double check that. Four of Swords. She does look very, very restful. I think this is a really beautiful depiction of this card. But it's like she's on a timer, isn't it? It feels like these are just going to drop. The way that they're staggered, it feels like the alarm's going to go off and they're going to go ding, dong, dong, and it's like it's going to be timed. So you've got this time to rest, but it's just a certain amount of time, and then you've got to continue whatever it is you were doing. Oh, ow. Five of Swords, ouch. That depiction, you can almost feel that. Oh, eek. Six of Swords. This feels like she's really on this journey, and it feels like the boat is still punctuated by these fears and these anxieties that are holding her down, pinning her down. She's gotten on this boat, but still she's not free of these things. She's going to have to work through them. Oh, I just love this kind of, is it Jessica Rabbit style thing we've got going on here with the dress and the hair and the lips. And the Seven of Swords. With the snake though, it feels, it's almost sort of devil-like. That's a really interesting depiction, but then it seems like you've got plants coming out of these swords, so I need to sort of look into that. This is a really interesting depiction. Eight of Swords, very classic Rider-Waite-Smith imagery here. That looks quite hard to get out of though. I feel like she has more space in the traditional card. I love this. Nine of Swords, this is how I sort of imagine the card in my head. The feelings of fear and the being isolated, you know, the anxiety that you get. If you've ever had that anxiety in the middle of the night, that feeling like you are alone, and this night is never going to end. And the Ten of Swords, okay, you do have blood in this one. I think the angle is really interesting actually. I've never seen it from this angle before. But you've still got the butterfly here, which indicates that it's like a journey. For me, indicates a journey and a growth, and that there is hope. So interesting. Daughter of Swords, she is beautiful. And she's wielding that sword. She's not afraid, is she? And the birds, thought and clarity of communication. This is interesting, she's sitting on this butterfly here. This is the Son of Swords, so the Knight of Swords. She is really on a mission. This is the Goddess of Swords, so your Queen of Swords. Well, she is not playing, is she? I love that. This beautiful card. God of Swords. Looks like he's beating on his breast. He looks very stern and very, very strong. Ace of Wands, again very traditional, Rider-Waite-Smith. Two of Wands. I just love how she's coming out of this shell. That's really cool. And the Starry Night, but she's looking ahead. It does feel like she's kind of looking for more than what she has already, because she's already got the world, but she's coming out to look for more almost. It's interesting. And the Three of Wands, again, this is a really interesting depiction. Instead of the ocean and waiting for your boat to come in, it's like you're walking along this path yourself. And I love how she's with the rhino there. There's this door, that's beautiful. Four of Wands, quite traditional. I love that they're dancing beneath the structure. It feels very celebratory, and the way he has his hand on her tummy, it feels like she could be pregnant. That's beautiful. The Five of Wands, it's quite traditional symbology there. They all have these different colour bands, and it's very inclusive in terms of skin colour, of course. And Six of Wands. I love as well that you have body diversity in this deck throughout the whole deck. They're all very curvaceous women, but some of them are more petite and some of them are taller and some of them are fuller figure women, which I love. Seven of Wands. This is a really nice way to depict it. And it follows on nicely because of the wand with this sort of earth around it, this vine around it. Eight of Wands, definitely very traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, except you have a figure in here, which I really like, because the way her arm is out, it almost feels like she's throwing it, but at the same time it looks like they're coming down, so you can't always tell. Maybe some of them are coming from this side and others are coming from this side, so some are just leaving the ground, being thrown, and others are coming down. So it does feel like there's a little bit of conflict in this card as well, but it's definitely fast-paced. And with the sun and everything, you can really feel the fiery energy. Nine of Wands. Oh, she is ready. She definitely looks ready and fierce. Her eyes are incredible. I think this might be my favourite card, actually, in the entire deck. I just think she's incredible. Beautiful. Ten of Wands. Daughter of Wands. Oh yeah, again, absolutely love this earring she has, this sort of adornment, or is it a piercing? I really love it. Stunning deck, oh my goodness. Son of Wands, yes, I love this on the rhino. Again, sort of similar to the Son of Swords, but more earthy and more fiery and less airy. This is, I'm coming for you. Oh, Goddess of Wands, isn't she glorious? And she has her cat. That is a Halloween cat if ever I see one. Look at her. Oh my gosh, how I love this deck. I cannot even. And the God of Wands. And it's like the kitty is now like a massive panther. I love the way the legs are spread as well, and it really speaks to that sexuality and that freedom of sexuality. It's just beautiful. So that is the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcana. I'll just do a little shuffle and pull a card. So I'm just going to do a shuffle. I think I might have to shuffle it this way because these are really quite big cards. I didn't talk about that, did I? But these are much bigger than your average tarot. They're more like an oracle. Whoops. So yeah, I'm struggling with this. I might do two like that. I need to get used to shuffling this for sure. When decks are bigger like this, I do tend to shuffle them this way. Gonna need quite a bit of shuffling, I feel. And then I'll shuffle the two together for a little bit as well. Let's do the other one. I'll speed this bit up. This cardstock as well is quite a thick cardstock, so I wouldn't really want to riffle shuffle with it. If you look, it's quite like bendy, but it's still quite thick, and it's got the beautiful matte gold gilding, so I wouldn't really want to shuffle it like that. Let's give it a go like this, see if I can. My hand's just about fit around it. It is beautiful there, and you can see all the beautiful artwork, you know, in its glory. So I wouldn't want it to be smaller. and I would never lop off the borders either, because I quite like the borders the way they are in this deck. And not every deck do I appreciate borders, but on this deck I do appreciate the borders. I think it frames the images really beautifully, and I think this whole deck has just been so beautifully created and produced. It's absolutely stunning. I would absolutely recommend this deck to anyone. Right, let's have another go. I might just give it a go riffle shuffling. Having said that I won't, I'll give it a go. Let's see. So it does riffle shuffle. I can't riffle shuffle back like the way that Lisa from Supportive Tarot does. That's amazing, the way she just riffle shuffles it back. I can't do that. But I can riffle shuffle it. Let's give it another go. I'm not sure if it wasn't for the fact that this hasn't been shuffled at all, I probably wouldn't be doing this, but just to demonstrate, I probably won't riffle shuffle this at all, because they are big. My hands aren't that small, but I'm a fairly small human being. So if you have particularly small hands, then you'll probably need to figure out a way to shuffle like I am. Right, let's just pull a card now. So a card for the day, a card for anyone watching this, a card for the energy. What is it that this deck is here to show us today, and the energies of the people watching this walkthrough? What is the energy that will support them in a timeless way watching this? What's a message from this deck for anybody watching this walkthrough? A message for everybody watching this. Oh, there we go. I had a jumper. I work quite a lot with jumpers, so let's see. Did fall on the floor. And we've got our Son of Wands. Look at that. Isn't he fab? So I think that the message, it's got to be all about charging into something. And I do get, even though this is Wands, I do get quite strong Knight of Swords vibes from this card. But then the earthiness reminds me that it is in fact Wands. The sun, you know, it's fiery, his cape is red. It feels actually like there's quite a lot of fuel behind whatever it is that he's intending. There's a message that needs to be delivered, work that needs to be done, passion-fueled project. This feels like a message of encouragement, actually. It feels like a message of growth and determination, and like it's like the deck is telling us to go for what it is that we desire wholeheartedly and to not hold back. And I very, very much feel like this is in its sort of upright position, and that the message feels strongly like it's urging us to move forward with the plans that we had. This year might not have been ideal in so many ways, and this year might not have been what we expected it to be, and so many people are telling us to hold back, and especially with astrology the way it is. But I also don't feel like it's a reason to be fearful. I feel like there are many ways that we can be productive and creative and abundant during this time, and there's many ways that we can manifest, and maybe it's about looking at something in a different way. But he is so full of confidence and he is so determined that I really believe that this is a message telling us that if there is something in our hearts that we really, really believe in, and we can really envisage it, we can really imagine it, then we can really, really manifest it. We can really, really bring it into being. And this card just speaks to me of that. And also that's that sort of soul wisdom, that knowing that whatever you've got, that you've got it in you to achieve, to manifest whatever it is. And if you're fighting a battle, you know that so much of it is done in the mind, so much of it, because there's so much that we can overcome with our minds. And you know, it reminds me of Hebb's law and how we can create new habits and new ways of being by sticking to a habit for a certain amount of time and creating new neural pathways. The way that we can change our lives in that way, change the way that we are engaging with life and with other people, change our relationships, and really, really manifest in the way that we want to, just by having that determination and having that confidence to go and get it, you know. So if there's anything you take from this, if you're still watching, just know that you have it in you to achieve whatever it is that you're dreaming of achieving, and that you can master whatever it is that you are battling with right now. The Son of Wands is here to tell you that. That's what I believe. So that is my walkthrough of this beautiful Goddess Tarot Arcanas first edition by Andrea Furtick. I will leave a link below for her website, and also if you are in the UK, I believe that Beth at Little Red Tarot now has some of these in stock, so I will be adding a link to that also for you so that you can check it out if you are in the UK. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and walking through this deck. It is such a beautiful deck and I cannot wait to work with it. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a smoke cleanse and a shuffle and put it on my altar and start working with it immediately. So yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you again so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in another video again soon. Take care. Bye.